You wouldn't have believed that this was an old rusty cabinet.
It's mass throttle driving fast, taking control. Whoa, yeah.
So today, my brother, the legend of Old Soul Grafix, is going to be pinstriping this cabinet.
Yeah, so follow along and see how it goes.
Yeah, no. So you don't have to mow it at all. Sometimes we don't.
Just stay short. And really, it's just a small town sip. Small town sip.
Just a small town sip.
Don't fracture it even more. Are the paper towels scented?
They're like,
Smells.
I've always thought pinstriping is one of those arts that never really went out of style. You don't see it everywhere anymore, but when you do, you know somebody cared enough to do it by hand and actually give it some character. The cool thing about pinstriping is there's no undo button. Every line you see is one confident pull of the brush. That's what makes it so impressive to watch. I've watched my brother pinstripe for years, and it still amazes me how steady his hand is. Meanwhile, I would be shaking and messing up all my lines. The fact that he's able to get such crisp lines is so shocking to me. It's definitely a true skill. So when you're working on this, like, does it just come to mind, or?
Yeah, like like even that up there, absolutely no. I had absolutely no idea what I was gonna do. I kind of knew I wanted to put something in the corners. But yeah, I just like as soon as the brush hit the cabinet, I just kind of went with it. I didn't plan on what I was doing, but it's usually the way it goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have, an idea because like I've got something in my head, and so when I have a job or something to do, I want to. If I have an idea in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this idea and put it on here, and then other times, like with this, absolutely no idea what I'm doing when I get to it, and then it just starts flowing. I just most of the time I look at like the body lines, like if it's a vehicle or a motorcycle or something, I'll look at you've got cool corners here, and the corners of the cabinet, so I want to kind of emphasize those, and then you got this cool handle here, so try and work around that, emphasize the corners and all that kind of stuff. Gonna try and peel this off. Yeah, because I really hope none of this not bled through, but went through the pieces I didn't get or something. Yeah, like right there. Yeah, in there.
This cabinet could have been sanded smooth and painted one solid color, but that would erase all of its history. We wanted to make it look like something that belonged in a true hot rod shop.
There's a little behind the scenes in the shop as I'm pinstriping. A little bit of shop shenanigans.
Okay.
I filmed a little behind the scenes
Oh, did you?
and went over to so this is the behind the scenes in the shop as I'm pinstriping. I pan over the river and he's like,
Dog hair.
I go put a t-shirt on.
So how long have you been pinstriping for?
Well, so when I think I was 15 or 16, our dad bought me my first pinstripe brush. We were at Frog Follies car show in Evansville, Indiana. It's the largest pre 49 car show in the world, and just thousands of cars there. And they have a very large vendor area. And there was a guy selling pinstripe brushes and like tapes and instruction books and stuff like that. And he was also selling a new style of a bugle, which is like a pen with a wheel on it, and you load the pen full of paint, and then you can just push the wheel, and it's like a ballpoint pen. It just spits out the paint in like a perfect line. And I was looking at those, and I'm like, man, those are really cool. But I've always been kind of an artist, so I'm like, man, I really want to get into actual pinstriping. And Dad's always, painted cars, as long as we were growing up, as long as we can remember. Yeah. And so we've always been in the shop with him, and I've always been on the artistic side of paint and stuff. So he bought me my first pinstripe brush. It was a Kafka. It was like a long stem brush, and I used it forever. And so about 15, 16 years old, and then I didn't really start doing stuff for other people until I was probably 20, and then I was like, this is what I want to do. And then so I just started pinstriping everything I could. Anybody that had something they wanted pinstripe, I jumped at the opportunity. I'll do it for free. I just want pinstripe. And then so 22, when I was 22, that's when I decided to start a business and started going to shows and pinstriping and stuff like that. So yeah, so it was our dad bought me my first pinstripe brush.
That's pretty cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't think you were at that show.
No. So do you pinstripe for other people? And if so, where can they find you at?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook. My Facebook page is Old Soul Grafix Custom Paint and Detail Shop. So I do vehicle automotive detail also, polishing, buffing, and all that. I'm on Instagram, Old Soul Grafix. I'm on TikTok, Old Soul Grafix. I've got a couple videos on YouTube. Haven't really put forth too much effort for YouTube yet. I need to get after that. But you can find me on all of those platforms. Yeah, I work out of my shop in my garage, and always pinstriping a bike or vehicle or signs or anything. I do custom paint as well. So I do a lot of bikes and stuff. Candy paint, metal flake, all that good stuff. And I am located in little town of Sisney, Illinois.
So if there were people wanting to get into pinstriping that have never done it before, but they want to try it, what advice could you give them?
Advice I'd give somebody who's just wanting to start out, go buy a brush. Go to your local hobby shop. I think Michael's even has pinstripe brushes. Pinstripe brushes are a lot different than your regular, painting brushes. Especially these sword brushes. Real short handle, real long bristles. And go get a brush and get some paint, and preferably pinstripe paint. This paint is manufactured to be able to pull long strokes, and so the paint that I use mostly is Alpha enamel. You can get it on their website, Alpha 6 Corporation. That's the paint that I use the most if I'm doing something like this. If I'm doing a car that is then going to be cleared over, I'll use a urethane pinstriping paint. But if you're wanting to start out, don't know what to do, go get a brush. I've got, they've got tons of other brushes like these lettering brushes here. Go get a brush, go get some paint, and get a magazine and just start practicing. Start pulling lines, start doing curves, start doing S's, and the only way to learn how to do it is to do it. And it's a skill, and it's definitely something that if you practice, you can definitely succeed at it. Like when you're doing curves, it's not the same as using your pen or a normal brush. You have to spin the brush in your fingers when you do your curves, and so learning all those things just by doing it, and that's how you can get good at it. Repetition.
Projects like this remind me why I enjoy making videos. It's not always about horsepower and engine swaps. Sometimes it's just preserving a piece of automotive culture. This cabinet has been around for decades, and hopefully it will be around for more decades to come. The coolest part is knowing we didn't just restore it, we added another chapter to its history, and maybe I can pass this down to my kids when they get old enough. With only a few hours of work, even you can turn rusty antiques into something that you're proud of to put in your shop.
Absolutely. You can take an old cabinet like this and make it something awesome. Make sure you like, share, and comment on this video. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm Ryan Johnson with Old Soul Grafix, and this is what we came up with.
And I'm Matt Throttle. Thanks for watching.
Thunder roll. It's smash throttle, driving fast, taking control. One more time, light it up. Let's make